Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We are focusing in and zooming in on what does quiet borderline sabotage look like? How does their negative assessment of themselves, their negative self-identity, or their lack of self-love, and really what becomes the bottom line of self-loathing, how does this impact their emotional dysregulation and their rage outbursts? Their sabotaging of others, and how do you identify this, and how do you see the pattern, and how do you break free? Now, a borderline individual is someone who has a very negative self-assessment. For one, they have a disorder with really having a good sense of identity, who they are, what they stand for in a positive light. They're not able to connect with that. They don't feel that. They don't feel a positivism. They feel an extreme negativity. Some describe it as emptiness. Some describe it as self-loathing, and it causes a quite degree of unpredictability, uncertainty in themselves, their lives, and how they treat and feel with themselves, and furthermore, how they treat and relate to others. So the self-loathing can take the way of inward rage, where they might, be very self-destructive and use techniques like cutting themselves in order to feel something, to feel an endorphin release. A lot of tattoos, a lot of self-mutilation. We're talking tattoos. Big earring roll. The big rolls in the ears. I mean, they're distorting their physical body. Very, very odd, strange, bizarre haircuts, strange cut up clothing. I mean, just punked out, decked out in all sorts of mutilation of these things to make them feel like that they are strong, courageous, full of energy, and it's really just creates kind of a mask. You can see an inner aggression that they have taken out on themselves, and then this mutilation, the piercings, the tattoos, relief in endorphins. So someone exhibits a lot of pain unto themselves, they're releasing endorphins into their body, which is a feel good. It's kind of like a numbing agent. And so they will participate in a lot of these behaviors to extreme when their behavior is left untreated, unmanaged, and they're really out of control. So the quiet borderline is someone who definitely has that, you will see some of this inner landscape going on, but they're very quiet and very introverted. So they don't really make their presence known. They want to be the mouse in the corner. That they want to be the kind of one curled up that doesn't really get they want to kind of blend in. They want to camouflage in. They want to basically just not be noticed. But sometimes it's you very much notice them because they have an energetic field around them that appears very sensitive. And that there's someone lurking under the surface. So, a lot of people want to get to know these people because they are highly intelligent and highly articulate, and very oftentimes highly sensitive and artistic and creative. So they're bubbling with this whole resource underneath the surface. And oftentimes they're very, very extremely talented, and will oftentimes channel this into very specific ways, but they really won't want to share it with others. They're very self-protective, very defensive, very apt to run to run to knock other people down, or not look on the positive side of things, or really call people out right away. That will never work. You're too idealistic. Get real. I mean, they really want to kind of shoot other people down. And then you see this rage, this lack of support. So it's very much a withdrawal, again, of lack of support, lack of, believing in what's possible. In terms of being ultra realist, they're very much ultra pessimistic. They're not putting their eggs in your basket. They've got some eggs in their basket, and you're not going to really get to touch, feel, or sense them, but you can observe them from afar. But if they try to engage in an encounter, they're not going to give you the benefit of the doubt, the trusting look. They're going to be just highly distrusting. And so the sabotage can come in that way of just having an aura of being distrustful. The quiet borderline will be very uncertain and a seemingly illogical thought pattern which surrounds these irrational thoughts or behaviors just again seem to come out of nowhere. This stormy outbreak, you're just having a normal conversation, and then here comes the conversation, turned up 1,000 decibels, and you're all of a sudden targeted, and you're going to be blown to smithereens, because you don't know what you're talking about. You got the black and white thinking going on. Then boom, annihilated, and then so that they basically tear apart people's relationships. I mean, who would want to stay around somebody raging at them, angering, but yet there are some people who are like, well, it's just their personality. But until it'll go further until you realize, this is verging on like psychoses, out of touch with reality. This person cannot think along the same lines that I do and can't support me, isn't really there. They want to take credit, but they have kind of a calculating way with which, these are the people that if you lose your job, lose your income, they're the first to abandon. They have a total fear of abandonment. So if you show any weakness of character, your job, you're not making the income, the industry that you in is changing overnight, and then like next thing you know, you are into mortgages. Now that whole industry has gone poof, and then they're next thing they're cheating on you with an affair. They've got someone else on a public profile who they're dating, and then they're smearing your campaign. Is a sabotage. So the sabotaging can take a lot of the uncertain outbursts, the stormy thinking, the false accusations, the complete withholding of trust, the total questioning. What, you have a gym membership? That's weird. Or you're going out with your friends. Well, that's really good. Yeah, it's about time. They just have a constant tinge of doubt to, no matter what it is. It's the black thinking that they're going to try to basically project onto you. And not only are they going to be lack of support, they're going to be negative in their lack of support. So it's the awfulizing, catastrophizing, distrust, always critical. I would say one of the most highly critical and judgmental of all the personality disorders is your borderline. Those individuals who want to insult you for any, sort of stride you make ahead in your life, they are basically going to question, doubt, lack of support. They're not going to see it. They oftentimes, because there's certain things that they have not accomplished in their life, or if they have, they're holding onto it for dear life, or they possess out of fear, they possess out of anger, they possess out of the need to fill this restlessness. And so there's always this anger, restlessness, discontent that surrounds a lot of their life, possessions, relationships. So they're always on the defensive. They're basically going to box you out, smack you down before you even have a chance to get up. And so really, the sabotage can take that course and will really be very, very deterring to your feeling of normalcy, happiness, certainty, being valued, being heard. All the basics of human needs are not going to have an existence. They're not going to have a life. They are going to sabotage you, and the sabotaging, as we discussed, the root word of sabotage in our previous videos, which is an underhand interference with production, work, for example, in a plant, factory, etc., as used by an enemy agents during wartime or by employees during a trade dispute, or undermining a cause. So undermining is a very good way to put them. So undermining your effects to get ahead, live a life. Undermining, if you understand undermining, they're going to try to basically have everything fall out from underneath you. They're not going to give you what you need. They're going to take away, but even more than take away, they're going to destroy your very chances or destroy your efforts. And they're going to give you false accusations and use that pathological mindset to try to give you this gaslighted sense that you're out of boundaries when you're very much not. You're very much grounded in reality. They are just a borderline person who is overreacting, irrational, and seeks oftentimes to sabotage through the uncertainty, the false accusations, the black or white thinking, and basically, ripping people apart at the seams in order to satisfy their pathological thought patterns and be the borderline. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.